Caffeine Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny.
And we have a special guest with us today. Do you want to introduce yourself again?
Again, yes.
Again?
I'm a repeat guest. Y'all let me come back. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. My name is Theo Stathakis, and I am the Director of Marketing here at Mingledorff.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
What
you.
is our hot topic for today, Deanna?
We're going to talk about the 2026 dealer meeting.
Awesome. Very
All
exciting.
right. So my first question is, how would you describe the dealer meeting to someone who's never been before?
So the way I always describe it for people that have never heard of it or never been before is I call it's the Apple keynote of HVAC, meetings. So, we get up on stage, we talk about a lot of stuff. It's just instead of an iPhone or an iPad or a MacBook, we're talking about HVAC. So, it's a little less sexy, but it's fun.
Depends on who you talk to, right?
Yeah, exactly. For anybody who's interested in HVAC, it might be just as interesting as an Apple keynote. But yeah, it's a great show. We have a lot of on-stage keynote speeches. You hear from our president, David Kesterton. You hear from Carrie and Brian Manufacturer, and they talk a little bit about the industry. And then we've got a lot of other little things that we talk about as well. And then we have a big trade show to wrap everything up.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I love that. I like how you put that, the Apple keynote.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to put it.
It's hard to describe otherwise. So everybody's seen an Apple keynote, and that's just kind of what it looks like.
So what was your first impression the very first time that you went to a dealer meeting?
So my first dealer meeting was when I first came onto the marketing team. I was probably about 4 or 5 months in, and I had heard about the dealer meeting when I was on the counter before. And I had seen pictures, and I kind of had an idea of what it looked like. But once you get there, you kind of see how big of a production it is, and you're like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
This is way more than just, a small meeting in a small room, and, people are just bunched up listening to somebody talk on stage. It's a full production.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into a trade show. The first one that I saw was at the Mart downtown Atlanta. And if you've ever been to the Mart, those rooms are massive in there. And so they've got huge columns, and the trade show was spread out throughout this entire massive room. And I got in there, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, my company rents this space out, and we put on this big production here. So it was really cool. And then, being 3 or 4 months on the job, Rick Center, my boss, I was very green at the time, and he goes, hey, I need you to get on stage for something. And I was like, and this was like the night before too. He goes, I need you to get on stage and present something. And I'm like, I'm still trying to learn marketing here,
Yeah.
And he threw me on stage, and I got to talk a little bit about some stuff from our marketing guides. But one of the funny things that he did to me was everybody has like a walk-up song, right? And so I just basically said, oh, I don't really, just kind of pick whatever everybody else does, and that's fine for me. Not a big deal. I don't have anything off the top of my head. And me being Greek, he went on YouTube and found like traditional Greek dance music, and he put it as playing on the stage as I'm walking up. So that was my introduction as the Mingledorff marketing person to all of our customers that were at this meeting. Was
we
the
need to
Greek
link
music
footage
playing.
to that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it's somewhere. I really do think it's somewhere. I'll find it one day.
That's really great. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that that's the memory, too, that you have. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was literally when I got thrust into the dealer meeting for the first time. So yeah.
Had you ever
it.
been on stage in any capacity before?
No, not like that. I really got. I've spoken publicly. I took a public speaking class in college, but I never did anything like that. And then you get thrown in front of like 700 people, and you can't see any of them, but you're in this massive room on stage. It was fun.
So what makes this event different from your typical industry trade show or conference that we would go to?
I think that this event, we really tailored the event specifically to our customers, and we want to make sure that we're presenting them with, the forefront of information, whether it's from us or our manufacturers. And, the trade show is something that we have a wealth of vendors that we work with a lot, and we only bring the best of the best. We don't have everybody come and talk to our customers because, our customers' time is important and valuable. But I think what makes us different is that, you're going to touch every single point in your business within that trade show or within these meetings, and you're going to learn so much from all these people that have experience and knowledge, but also you and I have talked about the networking and the connections that our customers make. Our customers, for some reason, really like each other, and so they all want to connect and talk about their businesses, the challenges and the struggles that they feel together, and they really do that during the trade show and throughout our breakout sessions. You'll see, a session finish, somebody finishes talking on stage, and we get like a 15-minute break, and you'll see some customers kind of turn around, and they'll be talking to each other, about what they just heard, and they kind of talk about, how that's a struggle in their business and things like that. So it's really interesting to see that.
It's honestly such a treat for us too, because it just makes it almost like a little extended family. So you see people, and it's never felt like such a competition.
Right.
So I talk sometimes about my husband's in the electrical industry, and it's really not like that over there. Like, it's very cutthroat. So it's such a treat for us to be able to be around our customers and everybody to be friendly and cordial with each other.
And you've even said it before. You've never been in an industry where it's like that before.
Yeah.
And, we get to see that, and we get to see the camaraderie. And anytime these customers get together, it's like friends getting back together after a long time.
Yeah, so it's like a little reunion.
That's why we love having the dealer meeting, and that's why sometimes when we don't have it every year, we're kind of like, oh, I miss it.
Yeah, exactly.
So for a contractor that's running a busy business, why is it worth it for them to take time away to come to the dealer meeting?
So I think with our dealer meeting, you're always going to get some sort of takeaway that you're going to bring back that's going to improve your business. And that's why we always try and make our content something that they can take back and change their business, basically. And a lot of times it's either our content or what they talk with other customers. You're going to get business training, you're going to get technical training, you're going to talk with vendors that you may have never seen before that has a product that you're like, that's a problem that I've been dealing with for a long time. That's exactly what I need. So, I know people are busy, and we've had a lot of dealers basically come back to us in feedback in surveys afterwards, and they say, hey, I'm so glad that I came. I actually talked with this vendor and brought that back to my business, and it helped me fix a problem that I've been having for a long time. Or again, talking with other dealers, that's why it's important. So I'd say, it's a day, maybe it's a couple nights to try and just take time to get away from your business for a little bit too, because that's why some people do it. They want to get away for a little bit. We're going to be in Savannah this year, so it's it'll be a fun time over there. But also, you get to have some fun and you learn a little bit too.
Do you have any examples of like something that sticks out in your mind of something they've taken back to their business? One of our customers.
I'm pretty sure that there was some programs that we introduced, like Steady Stock. Steady Stock is something that we had introduced in a dealer meeting a little while back, and it wasn't fully pushed out to everybody right away, but when people started hearing about it, they're like, hey, that could actually really help my business. I'm seeing a lot of shrink from my product that I have in trucks or in my warehouse or everything like that, and I need help managing that. And so when we introduced Steady Stock to a lot of people, they were like, man, I've been waiting for this for a long time. And so they take that back and they go back to their business, and it helped them significantly.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other kinds of conversations or aha moments tend to happen at the dealer meeting?
I've said it probably 3 or 4 times already, but it's again when a customer can sit down and collaborate with another dealer, and they basically say, I'm running into this issue with hiring. I need to find technicians. And a lot of times our customers will connect and talk about those things, and they'll bring it back to their business. So it's hard to pinpoint one thing a lot of times with that, but I just go back to when you get a group of people that have experience and are running into the same challenges and issues, they always come back with something. And as long as they're talking and working with vendors, talking with vendors about the different products or solutions that they provide, there's always an aha moment. It happens a lot more than you think. So
yeah.
Sometimes I think too, once you're like so far in the trenches, you kind of get tunnel vision. So it can be such a tool to just step away for a few days and have that time to work on your business without being inside the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to get out of it.
Yeah.
So
and then also, sorry,
No, go ahead.
I pulled up my notes because I was like, I knew there was something else. also dealers realizing that they're not the only one that have this issue, because you can be sitting there with tunnel vision in your business and you're like, dang, like, I wish that I could figure out if somebody else has this problem. And then you get to a dealer meeting and everybody's having the same problem. And you're like, okay, perfect. And then hopefully we've got content to help fix that, or we've got a training class or something, or a vendor that's got the solution for that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
How does the dealer meeting help smaller dealers?
So the dealer meeting, it's not everybody at the dealer meeting has access to the same information, the keynote speeches, the general sessions, the vendors, and all those things. So, even if you're a smaller dealer, you're going to get access to all these things, this information, and it doesn't matter how big you are. And if you're, a business owner, you're just now getting out on your own, and you're trying to, meet with people, connect with vendors, find different things that'll help you with your business, you're getting the same information as the big dealers out there. So I think that it's helpful to have that and have all that information in front of you, but then also you can go to a bigger dealer and say, hey, what did you think about this? Get their information, get their thought process on it, get their opinion on it, and that'll really help you with your business.
So from a vendor perspective, what does this event do that maybe, a regular sales call wouldn't do for them?
So, a sales call, everybody's phone rings nowadays a little bit more than we probably like. So I think the face-to-face, talking with somebody and being able to kind of get to something that our vendors are probably very good at is getting to the root of what the problem might be that a customer might be having. So being able to talk with them face-to-face and truly getting feedback on what their issues is, and then being able to show them something.
Right. Like a
if you've got a
physical
physical
object.
product, you can't explain that well over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, hey, can I come into your office and meet you? And the owner's probably going to be like, nah, I don't really have time for that. But if you're at a dealer meeting and they're walking up or down our trade show looking at the booths and see something that's sitting on a table right there, a lot of our guys are, hands-on type people. They want to see the product. They want to touch whatever it is. And when they're doing that and they can spot it and they can kind of go play with it and mess with it right there and be like, hey, that's a solution to my problem, I think that's a big benefit for our vendors.
Well, you answered my next question, so
You can move to the next one.
are there any
Maybe I
cool-
heard about that question beforehand. I don't know.
Are there any cool examples of partnerships or programs that got started at a dealer meeting that's not Steady Stock, since we already talked about that
Yes.
one?
So my favorite one that actually we just started in our last meeting is the philanthropy sponsorship. So basically what we've started doing now is we partner with a local trade school or somebody who works in the trades or helps developing trades. And we basically have a sponsor come on board and say, all right, you pay for this sponsorship. We're going to donate the amount of money that you've paid for the sponsorship and put that towards scholarships for people to go into trade school. So on top of the vendor paying for part of the sponsorship, we also open it up to all the dealers that are at our meeting too. So y'all have seen it. We take probably these 2 units actually, and we put them out in the trade show, and we put a QR code on them, or we tell people if you want to drop cash in the top of it, and put that money towards what we're going to donate to the trade school for scholarships, Mingledorff matches that. And we actually go in, and I think we cut a check last year for, I want to say it covered 3 scholarships for people in the trades show.
Another fun thing that I heard at the dealer meeting last year was that the trade school that we sponsored actually brought in kids that were going through school, and quite a few of them were actually offered jobs for when they finished their schooling. So I think that's just such a testament to helping the trade gap that we're in and the labor shortage. So I think that is one of the most important things, and just I love that part of the dealer meeting for me. I think it's so important for us to do what we can to pour back into the industry.
Absolutely. And, those kids that were there, they got to come in, they had a little lunch. They walked around our trade show. They got to see everything that, they probably worked with or have seen before, maybe in trade school a little bit. But once they get out there to talk to vendors, and then, like you said, connecting with our dealers are really looking for good, strong employees out there. So for them to be able to connect with them and talk with them, that's just it's a win all around.
Yeah, and it just brings more value, even more value for our dealers, that, opportunities for them to bring on new people and junior techs and things like that.
Yep,
So.
absolutely.
What's the overall vibe of the event?
The vibe. You threw that word in there. You wanted vibe for the Gen Zers or the whatever.
What's the vibe, fam?
Yeah, what's it like, fam? So it's professional. We have a good time at the trade show, and everybody gets to wind down and have a drink or two and enjoy the trade show. But it's professional. When we get into those general session rooms, it's down to business. You're looking at things that you might not look at normally as a business owner, but it's important to look at a 30,000-foot view. You're talking about market share and things like that a business owner doesn't necessarily look at right away. It's something that we look at. But the other thing is it's collaborative, and we've said it a million times. But everybody's talking, everybody's connecting, and everybody's sharing their opinions and their current challenges.
So what sessions, training topics, or speakers should we all be excited about this year?
So I read this question before, and I got to say, it's classified. It's G14 classified.
We were just trying to get some information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anybody knows, our marketing team's going to know about it ahead of time. No, a lot of the stuff is going to be, I've mentioned a couple things like David Kesterton talking to everybody, and then we bring in somebody from the factory to kind of get a good overview of a lot of things. But a lot of the content this year is going to be talking about, it's a rougher year in our industry, and that's kind of why our theme is rooted in resilience. We want to talk about, it's been a down year, but how do we get back to where we were before, and really pushing our dealers and what they can do to really grow their business and despite the shortcomings of the years in the past. So expect a lot of topics like that. But we'll have our usual fun, and we'll have our business breakouts. So we'll be introducing probably some new product from the factory and manufacturers that's coming down the pipeline, and it's exciting stuff. So
I like the theme drop there.
Yes, yes, that was a team effort.
Missed it.
Yes.
So who would you say benefits the most? Owners, service managers, salespeople, or installers?
So I don't want to say that an installer or technician would not benefit, because they really would. There's, especially with the trade show, they're going to see a lot of cool stuff that is coming out from our vendors, whether that's tools or supplies or things like that they haven't seen before. So I don't ever want to say that they wouldn't benefit from it, especially our training classes. Some of it get more on the technical side. But I think, owners and managers, general managers, sales managers, service managers, those are the type of people that will probably get the most bang for their buck in this meeting. So it's good for everybody overall, but I think if you're an owner principal type position, you're probably going to get the most out of it.
That's good advice. Okay, so out of all the dealer meetings that you have been involved in, what is your favorite moment?
So I've got a list, just because I can't.
I can't narrow it down.
Yeah, because there's so many fun things. Like even in the short times that y'all have been coming to the dealer meetings, we've had a lot of cool stuff. So I think one of the first big hit moments for me was the first time we had the dealer meeting in Mobile, because I don't know if you were around for that one.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
no, not yet.
Were you around for that one? Yeah. It was the Mardi Gras parade. So
I heard about that.
yes. So it was so much fun. I don't know how we swung it, because when we went back to Mobile, they basically told us, like, yeah, we're not letting you do that again. But our hotel was right along the main road where they had a Mardi Gras parade. And I can't remember which specific parade. They have so many different parades down there. But the Mobile Mardi Gras is much different than the New Orleans Mardi Gras. It's more family-friendly, things like that. But our hotel was right on the street, and they let us block off the entire street so our customers could get front row for this parade. And then we had bars sitting outside too, so everybody got to enjoy the parade walking by. And then we had outdoor area. Luckily the weather cooperated, and it was a huge hit. So that was kind of the first big one that I really enjoyed. The keynote from the Savannah Bananas owner, I can't remember his name.
I love that, Jesse Cole.
Jesse Cole, yeah.
He was amazing.
He rocked it.
And now I don't think anyone can even really afford him.
No. So we were lucky with that one, because we had signed the contract with him before COVID, and when COVID hit, we had to postpone the dealer meeting. We still had the contract with him, and we got him. And during COVID is when he blew up. That's when he was on ESPN, and his social media blew up and all that stuff. So we got him for a very good rate at the time. And his speech was amazing. He brought customers up on the stage to dance. One of our customers, I think it was one of the Gagne brothers, was up there dancing, almost fell off the stage, and Jesse had to hold him up from falling off the stage because they were blindfolded.
It's so funny because he did such a good job. We didn't even know that this customer had almost fallen off the stage until he posted about it on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
that's
then
so
he
funny.
posted it. And so our branding was in the background. It was so cool.
It was great.
And then there's also, I can't remember if it's a 30 for 30 or anything with him, but they asked to use some of our footage from our meeting on it. So when you see his speech, it's
I actually
out
didn't
there.
know that.
Yeah. So I need to go back and find it. I haven't figured it out. I need to ask Denami because they were the ones that let us know about it. But we were like, of course, yeah, you can use that footage. And then I have one more. Sorry, I know I might be taking longer than normal. I remember it. It was the fireworks show.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
When we came back to Mobile, so instead of them not letting us get on the Mardi Gras parade, we made the news in other ways. We had a big fireworks show, and the convention center is right on a waterway there, and we had there was a big barge out there that had fireworks going up, and everybody got to sit outside and enjoy a drink.
I was gonna say we had a signature cocktail that year too.
Yes, it was the Bushwhacker.
Yeah,
because that's something that's near and dear to my heart. I love the Bushwhacker drink, but also it's something that's a product of Mobile, the Floribama Shore type thing. So everybody got to sit outside and enjoy the fireworks show. And then little did we know, I don't know if it was Cody that sent it to me or somebody sent it to me, or maybe I got the notification, but our social media started blowing up that night.
Yeah.
And we were like, what is going on? And turns out there was a news report, and they were like, so if you heard the loud fireworks show in Mobile last night, don't worry, it wasn't, big bombs going off in Mobile. It was just a trade show that was happening, and it was the company Mingledorff's. And then, they talked about us. We made the news. We had some less than favorable comments from people that might have been woken up or disturbed by the fireworks show. But that was the most recent one. That was pretty cool. So
I think there's one more thing too that we got to do that was really cool. I thought was really cool in Mobile. Another person on our team was able to pull it off because he lives in Mobile, but he emailed, I guess it was like the city council or something, and they have like different LED lights that they shine on their, was it their Capitol, or there was some building?
A lot of the major buildings.
Yeah, in downtown Mobile, and so they turned them red and blue for Mingledorff's, which I thought was such just a cute little cherry on top.
And I think when he said it, because Austin was the one that did it, and he said, I emailed them 2 weeks ago. I never heard back from them. I don't know if it's going to happen. And then we pulled up, and that night you see it blue and red, and then he got an email like the night before or something. They're like, hey, we did it for you. And we were like, awesome.
I know, it was so cool. Yeah. That was a really cool touch.
Yep.
So if you had to describe the dealer meeting in just 3 words, what would they be?
So, and I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So collaborative, professional, and fun is what I picked out. I think those are kind of the best ways to kind of describe it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's like our Super Bowl.
Right, exactly. I was actually on a podcast with Will Basco a few days ago. He just released it. Yeah.
You were on another podcast.
Yes, I was. I cheated on y'all. I'm sorry. But
Traitor.
hold on. I did put in a plug, and he's going to reach out to y'all to do a collaborative podcast together. So
Perfect. You just redeemed yourself.
I didn't fully cheat. I just half cheated. But he basically, when I started talking about the dealer meeting, he said, y'all are the Super Bowl of dealer meetings. So, he goes to dealer meetings across the country, and I don't want to toot our own horn too much, but it's from what I've heard from a lot of the vendors and manufacturers that are there, they're like, this is the one that we want to make sure we get to every year. So.
Okay, so I actually had that feedback in Mobile last time. I have a personal friend who just came into the industry a few years ago, and she was talking about attending other events for another brand. I'm not going to say who, but she said this is the most organized, and this is the most face-to-face time we've had with contractors of any event that we've been to.
Yeah.
So as a vendor, definitely take note of that because that's important.
Yeah, and it's the thing that you're very involved with, which is the trade show and the passport program that we created. So for those that don't know, especially vendors out there, we incentivize our dealers and our customers, every attendee, to go and see every booth, because when they visit a booth, they can get a special passcode or a QR code from the vendor. You actually have to talk to the vendor to get it. You can't just walk up and take a picture.
Yeah.
But you get points if you visit a booth, and then those points go towards grand prize drawings. So we have a lot of prizes that we give away at the trade show. So as a vendor, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to get traffic from pretty much everybody that's participating in that game, which is a big majority of the people that come to our meeting. And you're going to get FaceTime traffic. You're going to talk with people. You're going to make connections. You're going to get contact information, and it's going to benefit you a lot.
All right, last but not least, where can our listeners go to register, get updates, or ask more questions?
So I would say the first thing that you want to do is reach out to your Mingledorff salesperson. So they're going to have the information. They're going to have the links and all that stuff and get you dates and all that, everything. So just whether it's your TM, an AE, any of the sales representatives we have, reach out to them, and they should be able to get you your information.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, for our ender today, because this is going to air at the beginning of the year, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you have any, Theo?
Get my house finished.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us some more. When did the renovation start?
We started in September, so probably we went out of the country for a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Just like a few weeks.
And we were kind of in the permitting process during that time, and then as soon as we got back, within a week, we broke ground on the addition to our house, and it's been longer than expected, as is with anything like that.
Okay, so you guys are living through the renovation then?
Yes.
Okay,
So luckily,
been there with a 2-year-old
Yeah.
too. So
we're there with a 2-year-old.
yeah,
So-
lots of extra baby gates.
Yes.
Lots of outside. Let's go outside and play kind of thing.
The worst part is our entire backyard is torn up, so
Oh,
we can't
so
really
there's,
go
like,
out
nowhere.
there,
Oh my
and it's cold
gosh.
now, so
Yeah.
you can't go out as much easily. But also, our master bath was part of that got torn out, and so right now the walls in our door from our master bedroom that went into the master bath is now open to the new addition, which is open to all the elements. So we've got towels around our
Oh my
doors.
gosh,
and
it's
things
so
like that.
cold.
We got an extra heater and humidifier in our room because we're open to it, but we're getting through it. We're getting closer. So that's
Hopefully
my New Year's
it'll be
resolution.
it'll be short then. I brought like a whole list of New Year's
okay.
resolutions. Okay, so I will graduate with my MBA, which I've been working towards. So I want to graduate with honors, and I am on track to do so. I've been a straight A student. It has not been easy, especially through my postpartum journey, but we're still on track for that. Give myself permission not to be perfect, which is a hard one, which counteracts graduating with honors. I know that. And when I put this on a list, I was like, that's not very, that doesn't match. I want to plan one thing every month just for fun. Like, I want to do something fun every month just that I want to do, which is really hard when you have 2 little kids. So it's like on my list of things to do. Sadly, I did not stick with my gratitude journal last year from our New Year's resolution, so I want to pick that back up. I want to start a tradition with my kids that is ours.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, whether that be something for Christmas or Easter or whatever, I want to have our own little tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't have one of those yet, and I really want one because my mom did a really good job with those when we were kids. So, and then I want to pick a theme word for the year. My theme word is going to be flow. Just let it happen.
Oh.
Let it flow. So those are my New Year's resolutions. So we'll see. Check back 365 days, and I'll let you know if I was successful.
Yep.
Well, I talked about this last year, but afterwards I created this bingo board. I don't know if you saw that on social media. People were creating a 2025 bingo
Mm-hmm.
goal, whatever. So I did that, and I did not check on it until about a month ago. And I was like, dang, I'm really, some of them I already did, but some of them I was like, oh, I wonder if I could do it by the end of the year. So one of them was to do a handstand. And I have been practicing. I was like, I have 28 days to get a handstand. I've been practicing, and I think I'll be able to get a up against the wall type handstand, like a wall supported.
I feel like
type
that still
handstand.
counts, though.
Yeah, it does. It does count. But for next year, I'd like to up the ante a little bit and be able to do a freestanding handstand. And I also had a bunch of like lifting because, I do weightlifting and whatever. So one of them was a 185-pound bench press.
Okay.
And I was trying to do it this year, which I did do it, but I used this like band thing they call a slingshot band. It's like to help train you. So it gives you a little bit of a boost at the bottom of the movement. It's kind of cheating. It wouldn't like count in a competition, but I'd like to be able to get 185 pounds without that next year.
You build towards it.
Yeah. And then this year I read 20 books. So I think I'd like to increase that a little bit and make it 25 next year.
Nice. There you go. I definitely need to read more. When you were talking about your handstand, I don't know if you watch The Office, but I always imagined Creed from The Office, his New Year's resolution was to do a full cartwheel, and he could never do it. So I'm just imagining Deanna just cartwheeling,
That
trying to
is
get the
so
handstand going. Biggest thing, this is one for me every year, and I do it like everybody. You do a good job of it at the beginning of the year, but health,
Yeah.
it's just, you're nothing without your health, and, we've got a little one and another one on the way, so I want to make sure everybody's happy and healthy, and starts me kind of doing that first. So
That's good.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we have for today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.